يريد القرآن الكريم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تطيعوا فريقا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب يردوكم بعد إيمانكم كافرين. If you are going to obey some people of those people of book, they are going to make you return to kufr after iman. When you go to tafsir, خلاص leave it. I'll hold it. خلاص I'll solve the problem. When you go to books of tafsir, you read the complete story of it. What was it? Why this verse was revealed? As a Muslim, you should recite Quran all the time, and if it's possible to know the reason behind the revelation. Some verses in the Quran, you know why they were revealed, and this is one of the verses that you know why it was revealed. Because Sayyidina Jabir ibn Abdullah narrated that a person, a Jewish person, passed through a city, majlis of Muhajirin al-Ansar, and he really was fed up, when he observed them, how they love each other and how they are helpful of each other and how they respect each other. And he sent one of his fellows to that majlis, and that fellow started to say or recite some of the poem that they used to have it in Jahiliyyah before the coming of the Prophet ﷺ. Because Al-Aws wal-Khazraj, these are the major sections, of people of Medina. They had a lot of fighting, with each other and enmity before the presence of the Prophet ﷺ. So this person, he just sat there, and started some of this poem which was mentioned a few years ago, and for sure it wasn't long time ago, and those feelings, those negative feelings, they started to come to some of these hearts, and another person answered him in another poem, and the third one, and all of a sudden everyone was arguing with the others, they had dispute, and then they set an appointment in Al-Harra. This is the black area, when you have the volcano there around surrounding Medina, Al-Harra al-Sharqiyya. They had their appointment there to go and they restart the fighting that they used to have it in the Jahiliyyah before the Prophet ﷺ. Sayyidina Jabir Abdullah spoke about that day. He said, I attended that day, and I haven't seen in my life a day more ugly and more dark than the beginning of that day, when they were completely equipped and they were about ready to start fighting against each other. And I haven't seen in my life a day which is more bright and more happy than the end of that day. All of a sudden, before the fighting started, the Prophet ﷺ showed up with some of the immigrants, and without saying anything, those people just drop their swords and they start hug each other, and start crying. And that's why you read in the second verse, the next verse, after it, وَكَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ وَأَنْتُمْ تَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَفِيكُمْ رَسُولُهُ وَأَنْتُمْ تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتُ اللَّهِ وَفِيكُمْ رَسُولُهُ. How come you are going to be kafir? Okay? Here, really it's very serious threatening from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one who looked to the other as a kafir, perhaps himself is kafir. وَكَيْفَ تَكْفُرُونَ. And you have the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is read or recited among you, and among you is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So how to reunite again? How? I see it, I take it from this particular verse, okay? Those among us who build very good building, of loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His messenger in their heart, they are going to put down all of these measurements, okay, and give the priority to the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, love of His messenger. And this reminded me of this story. This story happened to a very famous sheikh, highly respected by many of you. Okay, this is hundreds of years ago. This person said, this famous sheikh, he said, I used to hate so and so, a person in his time, because he used to hate a famous sheikh, which I look at him as a wali, as a great wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I used to hate this person because of his hatred to that particular wali. And I dreamt of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asking me, why do you hate so and so? The Prophet ﷺ, the dream, he asked this person, why do you hate so and so? And he answered, oh Rasulullah, because he hates this famous sheikh and I believe in him. And he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how come you hate him because he hates so and so, and you don't love him because he loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger? How come you hate him because he hates so and so, and you don't love him because he loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger? And he said, oh Rasulullah, I apologize, and you have clarified this point for me, which wasn't clarified, and I'm going to fix this problem tomorrow. And the next day, he took a valuable present with him, and he went to that person, and he apologized, and he said, this is the point, he said, this action from me was the way to mend the relation between that person and that famous wali, and to make him return back to it, okay? And here, when we have this soft heart, when we have this humble heart, of loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to make this work for us firstly, and work for the others by mending their problems, and by taking away the matters.
Assalamu alaikum. Just a request that the sisters are really loud, so if they could please calm it down a bit. Jazakumullahu khairan.
So here, as you see, when you have the real love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger, and you give the priority to their interest, you are going to look to all people, follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger, and you should love all of them. How come? Why not? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. And you look at Imam Shafi'i, this is one of the most famous Imam, in our Islamic history. What did he say? He said, مَنْ نَالَ مِنِّي أَوْ عَرِقْتُ بِذِمَّتِهِ أبرأته لله شاكر نعمته كي لا أرى ممن يعوق موحدا أو من يسوء محمدا في أمه. How noble is this Imam? He said, whoever done something bad to me, or I have some right on him, I'm going to forgive him for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thanking him subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. Why? Why I should do so? He said, because I don't like to block any muwahhid. Anyone say La ilaha illallah, I don't like to block him, and I don't like to see myself giving the Prophet ﷺ a hard time in his nation. Some of us, we are going to give the Prophet ﷺ a hard time in this life and over here and after. Yes, I should put my head down, okay? Some of us, they are going to give very significant hard time to the Prophet ﷺ. And I take it, this is my understanding from this hadith. I don't know how accurate is my understanding. The Prophet ﷺ said about the hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will purpose for all prophets. And all of them, they are going